Hey, welcome back to the Weekly Word Outdoor Adventures. We're just outside of Liberty Hill, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Englewood, and sort of a suburb of Liberty Hill. Back toward Englewood is a high hill that everybody used to call, when I was growing up, Mulberry Hill. They called it Mulberry Hill because there's this giant mulberry tree right on top of the hill. An interesting story that an old man, Mr. Richard Bowers, he's been gone for decades, but he was a friend of the family, and it's been 50 years ago. I think I was 14. He took me trout fishing up Tellico one morning, and we came back by here, and he's an old man then, and he pointed this big mulberry tree out to me, and he said, "My grandmother lived in Liberty Hill when she was a little girl way back in the 1800s, and said even then, everybody called that the Old Mulberry Tree." And he said, she told him, said, when we'd be going to Athens or something in the wagon, which was very rare back then, said, from over on this side, said people said they were going around the mulberry tree. It was like living to a different world once they crossed the hill and went by the old mulberry tree. Jesus told a story one time about a mulberry tree. Actually, the King James says, if you got faith the grain of a mustard seed, you can say to that sycamine tree, be cast into the sea, and it will be done. Newer versions say it's a mulberry tree. So which one's right? Well, I studied up on that, and it said, I guess in 1611, they weren't sure what that Greek word was. They stayed real close to a sycamine, is I think sort of right close to the Greek. But as time went on, they realized that Greek word is really just what everybody calls the mulberry tree. So they're both right. But let's get back to what Jesus said. If I've got faith the grain of a mustard seed, I can say to that mulberry tree, be cast into the sea. We're a long ways from the Atlantic Ocean. And I can sit here and I can muster and grit and pray as much as I can. I tell you what, I've got faith that I can't do that. But I also have faith that if God wills, God can do that. And if I felt like it was God's will, I'd pray for that to happen. But in the meantime, I'm glad the old mulberry tree's just right here where it's at. So thanks for joining us. Glad we got to video this. I don't know how many more years it'll last. Come by last several winters, and it looked like it wasn't going to leaf out anymore. But then spring comes and it leafs back out. That's the difference in the winners and the losers, right? They just keep trying, keep getting up when you get knocked down. See you next time on the Weekly Word.